Have you ever stopped to think that the world as we know it might be heading towards something the Bible warned about thousands of years ago? What if I told you there are clear signs, events that need to happen even before Jesus' return, and that many of them are already happening right before our eyes? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover now could completely change the way you view life, faith, and the future of humanity. It's amazing how, lately, everything seems to be accelerating. News of wars, economic crises, natural disasters, and radical social changes are part of our daily lives. But have you ever wondered if this is just coincidence, or if they are prophetic signs described in the Bible? Some scholars and spiritual leaders claim that we are living precisely in the time of the great prophecies, the one that announces the imminent return of Jesus Christ. And it's not a distant future or ancient history, many signs are already happening now. Think for a moment, do you notice the increase in selfishness, violence, and lack of love among people? It's something we cannot ignore. The Bible warns us that in the last days, the love of many will grow cold, and iniquity will increase alarmingly. Have you ever experienced situations where it seems like the people around you have become cold, indifferent, or even hostile? This isn't just a personal feeling, it's a pattern that has been repeated on a global scale. And understanding this is essential because it helps us interpret the signs and prepare ourselves spiritually. At the same time, something extraordinary is also happening. God's message is reaching places that previously seemed impossible to reach. Today, thanks to technology, the gospel reaches entire nations in a matter of seconds. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact of this? Content that would take years to travel around the world now reaches millions of people instantly. This isn't just a shift in communication, it's the fulfillment of biblical prophecy, and it's something we should pay close attention to. But not everything is positive. The Bible also speaks of false prophets and deceptive signs. People will arise claiming to be divine messengers, promising miracles and solutions that deviate from the truth. Have you ever come across information or leaders that seem good at first glance, but which, deep down, can confuse or even deceive spiritually? This is why discernment is so important, and it is precisely this that we need to reflect on now as we analyze the signs preceding Jesus' return. And we can't forget the tribulations that are intensifying in the world. Wars, natural disasters, economic crises, and social conflicts are part of the current scenario, and these are precisely the types of events that Scripture points to as harbingers of the end times. Observing all this, it's not difficult to feel a mixture of concern, curiosity, and even anticipation. But here's the point. Recognizing these signs isn't meant to scare us, but to prepare us, to strengthen our faith, and to connect us with what truly matters. And as we look to the sky and contemplate the extraordinary events that are to come, something within us awakens. An anticipation, a sense that something greater is approaching, and that human history is about to reach a turning point. It is at this moment that we realize that we are not just living in the present, we are witnessing prophetic signs that connect us directly to the promise of Jesus Christ's return. Now, you might be wondering, what are these things that need to happen before Jesus returns? What signs should we watch closely to avoid being caught off guard? Stay with me because in the next few minutes, we'll explore each of them in a clear and impactful way, and what you discover could truly transform your perspective on everything happening around us. And when we begin to reflect on all this, it's natural for a question to arise within us. Am I truly prepared? Can I see the signs that are happening around me? And it's precisely at this point that I want to invite you to participate in a special way. If this topic resonates with you, leave a comment below with what resonated most with you, or even a personal experience you've had related to these signs. It could be something you've noticed in the world, in your own life, or even a sense that times are changing. Knowing what each person thinks and feels transforms this space into a true community where we can learn together and reflect on these prophecies more deeply. And if you feel this content adds value to your life, please like the video. This simple gesture helps bring this message to more people who are seeking answers or trying to understand the signs of the times. Each like means someone else will have the opportunity to connect with these truths, perceive prophetic signs, and prepare spiritually. It's a way to multiply knowledge and hope. Furthermore, subscribing to the channel is a way to show that you want to continue following this type of content, that you want to stay up to date with every study, reflection, and warning the Bible gives us about the times we live in. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this important message. It's as if each comment, each like, and each subscription is a piece that helps spread understanding about these signs, strengthening not only your faith, but also that of many others seeking answers. So, as you reflect on all this, consider sharing your insights, your questions, or even your perceptions about what's happening in the world today. Each of your interactions make this space more alive, more authentic, and more connected to what truly matters. And now, continuing this line of reflection, let's delve even deeper into the signs the Bible reveals to us, starting with the first, which you may have already noticed happening around you. In today's video, we'll delve into something many people sense, but few truly perceive, the reality that there are clear signs preceding Jesus' return, signs that aren't just ancient stories, but prophetic events that directly impact the way we live today. And when we observe the world, it becomes impossible to ignore certain transformations. It's as if a hidden truth is slowly being revealed in every decision made by leaders, in every social change, in every crisis that shakes the daily lives of millions of people. Have you ever stopped to reflect on how all of this influences people's mindsets and the choices each of us must make? The Bible gives us precious clues about this journey, and understanding these signs is not just a spiritual exercise, it's an opportunity to understand the behind the scenes of what's really happening around us, and even to transform our own perspective on life. When we speak of these signs, we are referring to events ranging from profound social changes to spiritual issues that directly impact people's faith. Some of these signs involve the coldness of human love, the rise of evil, and the emergence of leaders and influences who promise easy solutions, but deviate from the truth. Others are linked to major transformations in the world, affecting the economy, political structures, and the very way we relate to one another. There is a surprising connection between these events and biblical prophecies that often go unnoticed, a kind of hidden script that shows that nothing happens by chance, that every detail is part of a much larger narrative. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic and show how these signs are not just warnings, but also invitations to reflect on our own choices and our attitude toward life. Every event, every piece of news, every sudden change carries a message, and when we begin to see this connecting thread, we understand that prophecy is not something distant or abstract. It is right in front of us, shaping reality and offering opportunities for transformation. It's like discovering pieces of a puzzle that reveal a complete picture, a revelation that challenges common perception and invites us to look beyond what is visible, seeking meaning and preparing for something greater. And more than observing, it's about feeling the responsibility to take a stand, to make conscious decisions in the face of all this. It's realizing that life has become a stage where truth and illusion coexist side by side, and that paying attention to the signs helps us distinguish what truly matters from what is merely distraction or noise. Every detail that fits, every change we notice, every reflection we make is part of a journey of understanding and connection with that which transcends routine and everyday life. So, as you absorb these ideas and begin to connect current events with the signs the Bible has revealed to us, tell me, write in the comments, I'm on this journey too, when we think of the signs. Preceding Jesus' return, one of the first things that catches our attention is the increase in iniquity and the coldness of love among people, as written in 2 Timothy 3:1-5. It's striking to realize how these words, written so long ago, describe situations that have become so common today. Just look around to see clear examples: conflicts between neighbors, disrespect in the streets, violence that becomes daily news, selfishness that grows in environments that were once filled with solidarity. And this isn't just history. Perhaps you see this happening around you every day in actions that seem small, but which, when added together, reveal a larger picture of a drift away from what is right, what is true, and what should unite people. This coldness in love manifests itself in subtle but powerful ways. People who once cared about each other now become absorbed in their own priorities, their own immediate needs, forgetting the impact of their actions on the lives of those around them. Social media, for example, reflects this transformation. Aggressive comments, endless arguments over trivial matters, deepening divisions, as if empathy had been cast aside. It's a clear sign of a shift in collective mentality, and understanding this helps us see the journey humanity is on to perceive the behind the scenes of a reality that often catches us off guard. At the same time, this tendency towards selfishness and indifference isn't limited to personal interactions. It's reflected in leaders' decisions, public policies, and global conflicts. Wars and crises, both economic and social, are the result of choices that ignore fundamental principles of love and justice. Every act of disrespect, every decision made without considering the well being of others, carries a multiplying impact, creating a domino effect that touches lives in ways we often can't even imagine. It's as if the Bible were describing not just individual behaviors, but a comprehensive panorama of society. And by seeing these connections, we begin to realize that we are facing a profound and inevitable transformation. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because recognizing these signs is more than an analysis of the external world. It's an invitation to reflect on our own attitudes and choices. When we see coldness and love, we don't just need to lament. We can use this realization as an opportunity for personal transformation to strengthen our empathy and seek truer and more meaningful relationships. Reality may be harsh, but each perception gives us the power to decide how we will react, to shape our mindset, and to positively influence our circle of influence. And as you think about this, you might notice situations that previously went unnoticed, small acts of selfishness, indifference, or conflict that reveal deeper patterns in society. These are signals that, when connected, reveal not only problems but also opportunities for growth, awareness, and spiritual preparation. It's as if every detail of everyday life has a deeper meaning, a hidden revelation that invites us to reflect on our own journey. So, tell me, write in the comments, this makes sense to me, if you have already noticed these changes happening around you and feel that this reflection touches something inside you. When we look at the signs preceding Jesus' return, one point that stands out is the preaching of the gospel to all nations as written in Matthew 24-14. It's fascinating to see how something prophesied so many centuries ago manifests itself so clearly in today's world. Today, a message that would take years to reach a continent now arrives in seconds, crossing borders, languages, and cultures. Social media, messaging apps, live streams, and digital platforms function as true channels of revelation, accelerating a prophecy that previously seemed distant or abstract. Technology has become a powerful tool, connecting people who might otherwise have never encountered these words and revealing how the hidden truth of Scripture unfolds behind the scenes of contemporary history. And the impact of this is far greater than it seems. Every video shared, every message translated, every live broadcast that reaches thousands of people becomes part of a global transformation, a silent but constant shift in the mindset of millions. It's as if the world is being prepared, piece by piece, for something bigger, and the speed at which this information circulates today is almost unimaginable compared to any previous era. Can you see this in your daily life? Perhaps you've noticed friends, family, or even strangers being touched by messages that cross continents without any physical effort, simply through the power of digital communication. This acceleration isn't just technical, it's spiritual and strategic. It's the very journey of the gospel spreading across the planet, fulfilling an ancient promise in concrete and measurable ways. And when we understand this, we begin to realize that every decision, every act of sharing knowledge or faith has a direct and profound impact. Preaching that once seemed slow and limited now happens at an almost instantaneous pace, and every connection made with this message is an opportunity for transformation, for touching lives, for opening doors to new consciousnesses. At the same time, this phenomenon invites us to reflect on our position in the face of this reality. The speed with which truth can spread demands discernment, conscious choices, and attention to what truly matters. It's a chance to see behind the scenes of history, to realize that every digital interaction, every message that reaches someone's heart, can be part of a larger plan. And it's at this point that we begin to understand that the fulfillment of this prophecy isn't just about numbers or reach, but about real impact on people's lives, on how they think, feel, and decide to act. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic. Because when we observe this spread of the gospel, we're not just talking about technology or data, but about a silent and ongoing transformation in global mindsets, paving the way for even more significant events. It's a revelation that connects past, present, and future, showing that every detail of our reality can be interpreted in light of prophecy, and that understanding this changes the way we relate to the world around us. So, tell me, write in the comments, I'm on this journey too, if you've noticed this spread of the gospel happening around you and feel like it's part of something bigger. As the message of the gospel spreads throughout the nations, another sign stands out in an even more intriguing and challenging way: the emergence of false prophets and people claiming to be the Messiah or performing signs and miracles that deviate from the truth. Matthew 24 to 24 clearly warns us of this, and when we look at history, we find examples that make us reflect deeply on how humanity can be deceived. There have been leaders who presented themselves as saviors, movements that promised miraculous solutions to global crises, and individuals who, with persuasive speeches, won over crowds only to show that not all that glitters is gold. And if we look at today's world, the situation is not much different. News of people who proclaim themselves special or who perform extraordinary feats appears every day, often accompanied by fervent followers, impressed by appearances, and immediate results without questioning the essence of what is being transmitted. It's fascinating to see how these situations function almost like a hidden truth behind the scenes of history. Thousands of people can be touched by messages, signs, or supposed miracles, and yet not realize they're being guided by something that doesn't reflect the true word. And this is precisely where the importance of spiritual discernment comes in. It's time to be attentive to the truth of the word, too. Question what seems incredible or impossible, and to seek to understand the essence of what's being presented. Every decision to believe or follow without analyzing can have profound impacts, not only on individual lives, but on the collective journey of faith and consciousness. And when we reflect on this, we see that the issue is not just historical, but extremely practical in our daily lives. People are influenced by charismatic speeches, emotional messages, and promises that directly touch on desires and fears, and this is where mindset and spiritual preparation become essential tools. The transformation that arises from discernment is not just emotional or intellectual, but also strategic. It allows us to see the signs before we make mistakes, understand the behind the scenes of what's happening in the world, and make decisions that protect our faith and our connection to what is true. Furthermore, observing these signs leads us to reflect on how crises, conflicts, and seemingly isolated events are interconnected. Each illusion, each false miracle, or misleading promise functions as a piece in a larger puzzle, revealing patterns that invite us to think beyond the surface and see reality clearly. It's an invitation to adopt an active stance on our own spiritual journey, recognizing the impact that each choice and perception have on our lives and those around us. Now, I want to go even deeper into the subject, because understanding the emergence of these false prophets and misleading signs allows us to analyze how faith, perception, and human consciousness are tested, and how each of us can position ourselves wisely in the situations that arise around us. Comment below, this makes sense to me, if you have noticed examples of deception or false signals circulating in the world and feel that it is essential to develop this discernment. As we continue to analyze the signs preceding Jesus' return, another essential aspect emerges: the Great Tribulations that plague the world, such as wars, natural disasters, and crises that lead to famine and suffering, exactly as described in Matthew 24, 6-7. Looking at these superficially can generate only fear or hopelessness, but when we understand the prophetic context, we begin to realize that there is a deeper message behind these events. Many people feel fear and uncertainty when faced with news of conflicts between nations, devastating earthquakes, increasingly intense storms, or food crises affecting millions. But these things were already prophesied, and recognizing this gives us the opportunity to interpret the world from a different perspective, seeing patterns and signs that connect us to a greater truth. It's fascinating to realize that even amidst chaos and unpredictability, there's a thread of meaning that spans centuries and reveals that nothing happens by chance. Every war, every disaster, every situation of scarcity can be seen as part of a broader transformation. A reminder that life is full of decisions and consequences that impact not only the present, but also each person's spiritual journey. Observing these events closely allows us to understand the behind the scenes story, perceive the complexity of the forces at play, and reflect on how our own choices align with or deviate from what is true and essential. And it is at this point that recognizing these signs becomes a powerful tool. Recognizing these tribulations is not an invitation to pessimism, but an opportunity for preparation, growth, and strengthening of faith. Every alarming news story, every image of destruction, or account of suffering can be interpreted as a call to develop discernment, empathy, and awareness. It's as if the world were offering us a map of warnings, showing paths that help us make wiser decisions, maintain a firm mindset, and protect our spirituality in the face of trials. Furthermore, reflecting on these signs brings us face to face with the reality of humanity and our own responsibility to influence what happens around us. Transformation occurs not only in the external world, but also internally in the way we process information, react to events, and cultivate values that transcend routine and superficiality. Each observed crisis can be an opportunity to understand the importance of preparation, vigilance, and connection with something greater, a journey of revelations that teaches us how to interpret not only global events, but also our own experiences and decisions. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, exploring how these tribulations and signs intertwine with more subtle shifts in collective mentality and spiritual perception, showing that every detail we observe has a real impact and a hidden message that deserves attention. Comment below. This makes sense to me if you've already perceived these tribulations as important signs and feel that they can transform the way we see the world. And when we think of the final signs, preceding Jesus' return, we can't help but look at the extraordinary events that will occur in the sky, as seen in Luke 21:25-27. Imagine looking up at the sky and noticing signs you've never seen before. It's really going to happen. These aren't just ordinary natural phenomena, but manifestations that will capture everyone's attention, awakening a sense of wonder and anticipation that transcends any human explanation. Lights, movements, and cosmic events that will be impossible to ignore, as if the universe itself were sending a direct message to humanity. Visualizing this helps us understand the profound impact these signs will have on the collective mind. People of all cultures and beliefs will be confronted with something undeniable, something that cannot be explained by science or coincidence alone. It is a moment of revelation that transcends boundaries, exposing the hidden truth that we are living in unique times, where every detail of history connects to a greater purpose. It is fascinating to think that the sky itself will become a stage for signs that not only draw attention, but also invite reflection on our choices, our decisions, and the direction we give to our own spiritual journey. And the effect of these signs won't just be visual or emotional. It will have a direct impact on how people perceive the world around them. Imagine the transformation this will cause in collective consciousness. Thousands, millions, perhaps billions of people suddenly confronted with something that completely defies everyday comprehension. It's as if reality is being repositioned before our eyes, revealing connections and patterns that previously remained hidden behind the scenes of history. Each movement in the sky will be a kind of code, an opportunity to interpret what is happening with discernment, to align our perception with truth, and to prepare ourselves spiritually for what is to come. These signs won't be subtle or fleeting. They will be unmistakable and inevitable. The magnitude of what will occur in the heavens will serve as a constant reminder of the need for attention, reflection, and preparation, transforming the way we view our own lives and the world around us. It's impossible not to feel a mixture of curiosity, admiration, and even anticipation in the face of something so grand. The spiritual journey intensifies at this moment, and each of us will have the opportunity to perceive, interpret, and react according to the awareness we have, developed over time. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, exploring how these celestial signs connect with everything we've already observed in the world, from the spread of the gospel to crises, false prophets, and shifts in human mindsets. It's at this point that each detail begins to reveal its true importance and impact on our own journey. Comment below, I'm on this journey too, if you can imagine these signs in the sky and feel that they can change the way we see the world. So, to quickly recap, the 5 signs we need to watch for before Jesus' return are the increase in sin and the coldness of love among people, the preaching of the gospel to all nations, the emergence of false prophets and deceptive miracles, wars, natural disasters, and famines, and finally, the extraordinary events in the heavens that will be impossible to ignore. Each of these signs not only warns us, but also prepares us spiritually, helping us reflect on our choices, our faith, and our journey. Are you noticing signs around you? Leave a comment sharing your experience. Sharing what you observe or feel is a way to create connections, learn from others, and strengthen this community that seeks to understand the signs of the times. If you want to continue receiving content about biblical prophecies and signs of Jesus' return, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share this video with those who need to hear this message. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for following this reflection on the signs of Jesus' return. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment saying I'm with you until the end so we know you've been part of this journey with me. And please leave a like, because it shows that the content resonated and helps maintain the connection we built throughout the video. If you feel like delving deeper into this topic and continuing to understand biblical signs and prophecies, subscribe to the channel. There's a video here that complements this topic. Click it and stay with me there. You'll discover even more details and insights that can transform the way you see all of this.